everybody, welcome to our virtual cooking class. Thank you very much for attending and joining us. I do plan on hosting one of these every month until hopefully sooner than later we will be able to host them right here in this kitchen like we have in the past. But as far as things go over these next several months, I will host this once a month and I will coordinate it with our weekend dinner box. Every weekend we do this weekend dinner box with a different theme and you get reheating cooking instructions. And I thought it'd be just more fun for me to actually just show you a little fun on cooking, plating, and some of the techniques. I am going to put this in right now that if there's anything you want to learn, anything you want to go over these cooking classes, or any techniques, or something you want to see, or something that's on our menu we've been doing for years that you would like to learn to cook, email me or even call me here at the club and let me know. And we, like I said, we'll do this every month and see how far you want to go. If you want to learn a little bit more, and more chopping, more dicing, more cooking, a little less. Right now I'm just kind of feeling out and right in the middle, and we'll go right into it. We're going to do 3 courses. We're going to do a stuffed jumbo shrimp with crab, then we're going to do a beef fillet that's pan roasted, and then we're going to go into profiteroles after that. So let's start with the first course. First course is jumbo prawns. This size of shrimp is what we call a U8. And what that means is when you see shrimp at the store, a U8 will mean how many are in a pound. So on the average, there are 8 pieces to a pound. Say for example, if you see more traditionally, most stores will sell what's called a 16-20, meaning again, there's a 16 to 20 average per pound. Shrimp can go really small. So the bigger the number, the smaller the shrimp. The smaller the number, the bigger the shrimp. And so the U8s, again, it's almost like a little lobster. These things are huge, real big shrimp, and very meaty and very flavorful. So we've got in the shell, so in the box you're going to receive them, they're already cleaned. We already take the shell off of them, and then we butterfly them. And then we're going to stuff it with a crab cake mix. So we have some crab meat. This is what's called a Jonah crab. It's a combination of claw and then the back fin and knuckle that's broken up. What we're going to do is we're going to mix that together. Like I said, it's almost like a crab cake mix. So we have sauteed celery and onions. In your box, you're going to get this already ready to go. I don't know if I'm going to make you mix it or I'm going to mix it for you. I haven't decided. So, but you will have all these ingredients. We add a little bit of mayo in there, or you can do a homemade aioli. And then we're going to add in the crab meat. I'm going to reserve a few of the larger pieces here because I think that would look really cool on top of the shrimp, actually. So we'll throw in all of this mixture. That should be enough. And then we'll save these up on top. Okay. Now, I'm gonna add cracked egg into this. And that's what we call our binder. That's what helps hold it together. I'm gonna lightly mix it together. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of parsley in there. A little bit of chive. And a pinch of Old Bay seasoning, which is just with seafood, especially shellfish, Old Bay is key, secret ingredient there. So you can see how kind of soft that is. Now I'm going to add in a few of those bigger pieces I was talking about because I didn't want them to break up, I didn't want them to fall apart. So I'm going to kind of fold that in there. Okay. Now, most important thing, salt and pepper. Season everything. A little salt. And with this one, we're going to actually do a little white pepper, do a little cracked white pepper. Again, stir that up a little bit. Try not to break up those big pieces. Now, you're going to need a preheated oven. I should have started off with this. This oven's at 350 degrees convection. You're going to need that for all 3 courses. So turn that on first thing, and then we'll start playing around with the ingredients. Now, when it goes to the shrimp, for baking the shrimp, you could use this in a regular cookie tray or a baking sheet tray, parchment paper. But I'm just going to use a metal pan, like a saute pan, that can just go right in the oven. It's just convenient, easy. Use a little pan spray, spray the bottom. We're going to put the shrimp in there. It's all clean, 2 pieces. And again, season the shrimp just a little bit, not a whole lot. And I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on the shrimp too. Okay. Then we're going to just pile this crab mixture right on top. And I'm going to try to showcase one or two of those bigger pieces of that claw meat instead of the back meat in there, so you can kind of see that reddish kind of color there. Okay. Set that aside. Now this is just going to go right into the oven. The whole pan, the whole thing will go right in the oven. It's a convection oven. And this is probably going to take about 6-7 minutes. Now we'll go into the sauce. The sauce is a citrus, creamy, and I say butter sauce, but it's not really a butter base. It's what we call a nage. Whenever you see nage on a menu, that's a French term for, it's a verb for swimming, for items that are swimming, nager. And all that means is whatever you're putting into this liquid, the liquid needs to be enough liquid where the ingredients are swimming in it and moving around. So that's why with this, when you get your box, you're going to have this cream reduction. And okay, this guy, what this is we reduce white wine with garlic, shallots, and tarragon and parsley. And you will get this combination already together. You're just heating this up. But I just kind of wanted to see the steps that go into it. This is heavy cream with clam juice. It's reduced down to where you can see how thick it is, right? See how thick that is? So now we're going to thin it out a little bit with this white wine clam juice reduction. And then I'm going to go up here on the burner to warm it up. This is going to be warming up while the shrimp's cooking. The idea is to bring it together at the same time, because what we're going to do is we're going to plate into this once we're ready. This inspiration on this dish is that it is a spring dish. So we're using different citruses. We have what's called a Cara orange. Cara oranges, to me, have this grapefruit orange combination hybrid mix, but there's certain depth to it, certain sweetness. Kind of reminds me of honey a little bit, or caramelized sugar. Then I have some traditional oranges. And then we're also going to add some kumquats in there as well. So we got all of our citrus covered. And then we're going to garnish it with what's called some Fresno chilies, which I'll show you how to slice those, and celery leaves. Now, the celery leaves, again, just from this, it's just your regular celery stalk. When you just pull these leaves off and save those. So when you buy celery, just try it, experiment. Keep a couple of these leaves. And next time you're making a salad or cooking halibut or even on a steak, it's kind of nice. You can garnish your dish with these little celery leaves. They're very bright, very vibrant, have a very fresh, strong, really strong celery flavor. You'll be really surprised. Okay, so now our sauce is bubbling a little bit. So you can kind of see how it's starting to thin out just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of citrus juice. This is the juice from the liquid. Now you're going to get this citrus is already going to be cut ready for you. This type of cut's called a supreme. That liquid in these containers, that liquid will be in with the citrus. I want you to take that liquid out and pour it right in there, okay? This is your cooking demo aspect. So you got to pour all that citrus right into that sauce and continue to stir. Now I'm going to season that again with a little bit of salt and pepper. So a little salt and pepper in there. Taste it. That tastes everything. Very important. Make sure you have enough salt, enough citrus in there. Okay, that's really good. All right, so that's ready to go. That's going to go down first. We're going to garnish it, like I said, with the kumquats, the different citruses, and the celery, and then also the Fresno. Kumquats, really easy to cut, skin and all, right? We all know this. Just go right down, nice, thin slices. And then when you get to the seeds, pop those guys out. They will be a little stubborn, and they'll actually mess with your rhythm or your flow of cutting those things into perfect circles. All right, so we got these ready to go. Nage is ready to go. Herbs are ready. Now, last but not least, this has got to be ready. Check shrimp. That looks beautiful. I'm going to say probably about 2 or 3 more minutes. I don't know if you can see all that, but that's, see how that's starting to souffle up. Because of that combination of the mayonnaise and then that egg, it's starting to kind of pop up a little bit. So let's just go ahead and pop that back in. And I'll go at a higher area of the oven because the heat is rising, so it'll get a better crust on it that way. Plus with all that airflow of the fan. All right, this is beautiful. We want to garnish it with an arugula salad. But what I did is I went over to our herb garden. And I think a lot of you know we have this beautiful herb garden in the bistro. And we change things out seasonally and what's available. Now, I have traditional arugula, which you're going to get in the box. But I went ahead and picked a few other things out of there. This is basically what's called tatsoi. No, I'm sorry, this is a mizuna. This is the tatsoi. And these are both in the mustard family. And then we also have some sorrel, red vein sorrel. And then this was really pretty. This is actually just red leaf lettuce that was starting to flower because I haven't harvested it yet and it's starting to bloom up. So I'm gonna do a combination of these things inside here as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the greens, put them in a little mixing bowl and make this little salad component here. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of the arugula. I'm gonna throw in a couple leaves of the mizuna. I'm gonna pick these little guys just because they look so pretty. And a couple more. Nice. Then these are the flowers from basil. I think that would look really nice in there too. So I'm gonna throw those in there. If you have an herb garden, and if you have things that are out there growing in your patio, in your backyard, this is the time to use it. Everything with all the rain and the sun that we've had, good combination, things are just blooming like crazy. And everything always tastes better fresh. Freshly harvested. Okay, so then I'm going to put on those greens. I have traditional olive oil, or you can buy, this is a tangerine infused olive oil. I know Whole Foods sells it. You can get it at Amazon online. It's great. Basically it's an olive oil with just that little citrus infusion, which I think is what we're going to use in here. A little bit of that on top. Again, a little salt, a little pepper. And we're going to mix that up a little bit. Okay. Now, shrimp should be pretty much there. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so first off, pour this little bit in here. And that's our nage. You know, like you want to really make sure you have a few ounces, maybe 3 or 4 ounces of that nage. So this is going to be one of these dishes that you serve with, I would say, a spoon and a fork. So you have that combination of both. I'm going to throw some chives in there. I am going to throw a little kumquats in there. Pieces of citrus, the cara, which we love. We use a lot here at the club. A little bit of chili. Fresno chilies can be pretty spicy, so if it's too hot for you, take the chili, run in a little bit of water, rinse it off. It'll tone down the heat. With chilies, you never know what you're gonna get. Jalapenos and red Fresnos, they change with the seasons, it seems like. If they get a lot of sun, they can turn out to be really spicy. So it's always good to try that. This is already looking really, really beautiful. A lot of colors going on. Let me grab the shrimp out now. How many minutes to take on our shrimp? Is that wrong? Like 8 to 10?
Okay.
8 to 10. Because really what you're looking for is to make sure it's cooked all the way inside there. Which this is. I'll set that guy right there. And like I said, the other one just kind of leaned up on top of it. I'm going to garnish it some more. Put those little greens right on top. Some flowers around. Should Let's open it up a little bit. That'll look a little bit better. And if you have that tangerine oil, this would be a good opportunity just to drizzle a little bit more right on the very top. All right. That will be our first course.